Hashim is there.
Oh, brother Hashim. Assalamu alaikum. There is the man. There is the man of the moment.
I heard King James.
Okay. King James, please.
You don't like that old
wait.
King James, do you, Hashim?
No, I prefer the other. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, we were talking about. Let me explain. Let me explain, brother, please.
In the Old Testament.
No, that's what.
Here. Can you just carry on our
That's what it started with. And he jumped on.
No, I am explaining to brother Hashim what we were talking about.
What was my point?
Our point was the brother said when Jesus comes the second time, he will destroy Islam.
Where is this?
Then my answer was to him, I said that's not true, but it's the other way around. Because on that time Jesus will say, people will come and say, Lord, Lord, we did miracles, we casted out demons in your name. And then Jesus will say, get away from me, you evildoers. And he said, no.
I didn't say no.
Okay, and I asked him again, I said, in this day and age, which people do miracles and cast out demons in Jesus' name and they call Jesus Lord, Lord? Which people are they? Tell me, please.
First of all, the criteria that Jesus was using was in the verse that he brought up.
But you don't believe in the Bible, brother. That's the same Bible. That's a Catholic Bible. Do you believe in a Catholic Bible?
What I said to you is in every Bible.
It's different.
Bring it up then.
Okay, wait.
Bring it up. Word for word, it will be word perfect.
You're just going to shoot yourself.
Brother, you know it by heart.
You're going to shoot
Matthew
Matthew 25:30.
But the point I was making was that every nation that Jesus will come and fight in the future on behalf of Israel is Muslim today.
Why? Why do you say that?
From the Old Testament, if you know the prophecies about why Jesus is coming.
Okay, show me from the Old
I'll give you
Testament.
an Okay, I'll give you an
Show me from the Old Testament substantially.
Let's finish this one first.
No, but that was his topic.
We'll give it to brother Hashim.
I don't mind.
No, but let's finish this one first.
Yeah, wait.
I want him to search for the
Don't
verse.
let it drag you off course. Just finish this one first. Put that away. Just focus on
Matthew 7.
So Matthew 25. And I think if you start at 40, that will give you the additional information on the verse you were using.
So what is the point you're trying to establish, Colin?
Well, it's when my friend Muhammad here said that those who say Lord, Lord, he'll say away from me, I never knew you. That if you go to this verse, it will give you the greater insight into why he was saying to people who said Lord, away from me, you accursed. It's because they didn't do to the least of these. And then there's a whole load of information there. Because it doesn't make sense to say away from me, ye accursed, when they've been casting out demons unless you've got the additional information, that's all. But it's not a salvation issue, to be honest with you.
No, it is actually, because if you're cast out at the end as evildoers, that is a salvation
Well, it
issue.
would be for them, but as far as extracting a doctrine from it, I don't know if you can.
So what do you think Matthew 7 is referring to? Whom do you think it's referring to? In Matthew 7, 21, 22, which is what Muhammad mentioned,
Maybe we can
it says,
read
those
it.
who call me
I'm not
Lord,
aware
Lord.
of the fullness of it. I'll have a look at it.
Okay, look at it.
Right. I'll give you just one.
Matthew what? 7.
Matthew 7, 21, 22.
I don't know if you study prophecy and you know about the book of Daniel, Isaiah and all that, and what they say.
You know, one prophecy
regarding
that...
the second coming. No, I don't want us to jump, but I'm just saying regarding the second coming of Christ.
Matthew 7 and
I'm not
verse.
sure if you're aware of those, but I'll show you. I can educate you on that. Right, I'll give you just one verse in Revelation. Obviously, it talks about the second coming of Christ. Yeah.
Well, we as Muslims do believe in the second coming.
All right, that's
so
what I'm saying.
I don't know what you're going to disagree with
There
me.
we go.
If you believe
Matthew.
Don't you know
Matthew
that?
21.
Don't you know that? The
No,
Muslims
I do.
actually
Matthew
believe.
7,
I've actually
21.
studied your eschatology as well.
That's the one.
Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into.
No, read from 21.
Yeah. Lord, Lord, into the kingdom of heaven. But he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven.
What is the will of the Father?
Exactly.
Let him finish.
Let's read it, please. Let's read it.
Go on.
Why are you guys so impatient?
Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name has cast out devils? In thy name done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Therefore, whoever heareth these saying of mine and doeth them, I will like him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock.
So who is Jesus referring to here?
So hold on.
The will of the Father. Essentially, we're looking at the key sentence there is whoever does the will of the Father. So you've got to know what is the will of the Father.
The disciples
No,
called him Lord.
before you go to the will of the Father.
The disciples called him Lord.
Sorry?
The disciples called him Lord.
Yes.
The disciples also cast out demons.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Are the disciples by default under going to hellfire?
You tell me based on that verse. You tell
No,
me.
but he's not elaborating on that.
So whom
verse.
is
He's
he
saying-
addressing here?
He's saying that there are Christians that will obviously do these things in his name because there's power in his names.
Yeah.
But because they won't do the will of the Father in heaven, they're liable to hellfire for that reason alone.
Okay, so the most important
you can
thing-
call him hell, you can call him Lord, you can cast out demons, you can do all of these things,
But if you don't do the will of the Father,
Exactly.
then you're liable.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's
so
the point.
so let's okay, Colin, let's establish one thing here. The will of the Father is important. Do you agree? There's no mention of one thing, which is the will of the Son.
Yeah, he's just mentioned it.
So there's no will of Jesus. It's the will of the Father. Do you agree? The most important thing here is the will of the Father. Yes?
Which is what?
Hold on. It did not say will of Jesus Christ or the Son.
It's on a scrape another.
That's the thing.
Hold on. Do you disagree with that? Do you disagree with that?
What's the will of the Father?
Where does it say will of the Son here? Where does it say the will of the Son?
Hashim,
the Holy Trinity come
Hashim, the
Jesus never said the will of the Son, did he?
Are we looking at this verse?
Look, now you're upset because Jesus didn't say that.
The Holy Trinity.
It's not in the Bible.
The Holy Trinity is
Not in the
Now
Bible.
listen.
Son,
What
and
I
the
said
Holy
Jesus
Spirit.
is going to
Where
come
does it say
and
that?
judge
Show
Islamic
me.
nations.
The Holy Trinity.
Show me one verse where it says
You
that.
do that, right?
No, but Jesus here says, bro.
Let me give you that point and let's see
What,
if you
where are you
agree
going to another topic
No,
now?
that's not another topic. That's the main
let's
topic.
deal with
and
this
he's
first.
diverting off it.
Yeah,
No,
let's deal with this.
let's deal with this
If you want to deal with it, deal
Well,
with it. You don't want to
actually, we have all established that Jesus here is emphasizing on the will of the Father, not will of the Son.
Which is what? Which is what?
Not will of the Son.
What is the will of the Father?
The will of the Father. Look, if you want to see the will of the Father, wait.
Is that
If
what
you want to
should
see
be
the will of the Father is what Jesus says God says, not what Jesus says.
In this
verse, what does it say? The will of the Father.
It doesn't say what the will of the Father
It
is.
does
On
in
then.
Matthew 25.
Why don't Muslims read
Oh,
out
so
to
they're
the
going to
text?
Matthew
You're
25.
not doing any
No,
exegesis, Hashim,
So
which
wait.
is normal.
You asked me.
Exegete the
Colin,
verse.
you asked me in that
Exegesis
verse.
means you take
Both of you,
everything
listen.
in.
Both of you asked me in
No,
Matthew
no.
7.
Yeah.
What is the will of the
You've
Father?
appealed to the
Can you
text.
show me the will of the
You've
Father?
You've appealed to the
Where,
text,
in Matthew
right?
7 or
No,
Matthew
in
25?
in Matthew 25.
Exactly my point.
So you've
So
appealed to
I
the
told
text.
you that
You've
in
appealed-
Matthew 7,
You have appealed
it
to the
doesn't
text.
mention
You've
the will
appealed
of the
to the
Father,
text.
what it is.
Exegesis.
You have appealed to the text. Let the text
Yeah.
interpret itself.
Which text?
So the text you're quoting from Matthew. So let it interpret.
Oh, so now you
Go
want
read
the
on.
entire.
Yeah,
Okay, now
yeah,
you're
so
saying
read on.
the entire.
So now
gospel.
let's read
Okay, read
Matthew.
it.
It's a Catholic Bible,
Doesn't
and,
matter,
and the
doesn't-
brother doesn't believe in it.
No,
No,
what
the
you're
book of
looking
Matthew
at,
is in order.
you're looking at
Pull it
aspects
from
of this
your
verse
Bible.
that say
Okay, the
Lord,
Bible
and
here.
you're saying away from me that into iniquity I never knew you.
That's fine. Go on.
And this
Read
is why-
Matthew 25. Go on.
Okay, we'll do with the. Then he will say to those on his left, go away from me, you accursed, to the everlasting fire, which is prepared for the adversary and for his angels. That fits in with, depart from me, you work
No, you're
of
gonna show me the will of the Father.
iniquity.
Go on.
Then he will say to those at the left, all right, for I was hungry and you did not give me food. Hashim, this is your key text here.
Yeah.
I was hungry and you did not give me food. I was thirsty, you did not give me drink. I was a stranger and you did not take me in. I was naked and you did not clothe me. I was sick and in prison and you did not visit me. Then they will also answer and say, Lord. Doesn't it say, do they say Lord as well?
No,
I
carry on.
think they do. No, they do. No, this is important.
say
So we
Lord.
can
Read the
just
text.
see
Read the
that,
text 'cause you like
that
the King
that's an
James.
abridged version that you find in Matthew in its completeness. And then he will answer them and say, truly inasmuch as you did not do it to the least of these, you did not do it to me. And he shall say, and you shall go to everlasting torment, and the righteous to everlasting life.
Yeah. Where does it say
Amen.
will of the Father?
The will of the Father.
Where does it say will of the Father? I did not hear the word will of the Father.
The will of the Father.
Yes,
read
please.
this text
Right.
before, Hashim.
I've just
I have read it
I
before.
read you the
And that is the reason I wanted to ask him, where is the will of the Father?
You
the
didn't
will of the
answer the
Father is that
question.
you do unto others
your
as you would
point
have them
here-
do
Show me
unto
where it
you.
says that is the will of the Father.
Your point here.
You see,
is trying
Colin,
to
this is what you do.
You're
You
not
say
exegeting.
you say
You
exegesis,
don't.
but then
Yes.
you don't even have the will of the
No,
Father
I
in
do.
there.
I'm trying to exegete.
You see, that is the reason.
But do you
know,
accept?
that is the
You're
reason I
using
told him,
exegesis.
do not do the will of the Son,
Hashim, yeah,
do the will of the Father.
Jesus, Hashim is
Will of the Father. What did Jesus? Wait. What did Jesus say in John 17:3?
What's the will of the Father, Hashim?
You tell me, it's your Bible.
I just read it out.
You
to
tell
you.
me.
I'm not going to read it out again.
Did you see the words will of the Father in that?
You just heard the will of the Father.
Did you see the words?
Do unto others as you would have them do
Where
unto
did
you.
it actually
That's the law
explicitly
and the
state that
prophets.
is the will of the
Well,
Father?
Jesus continues. He said, "That's the law and the prophets. Do unto others as you would have them." It's the whole central message of Jesus. This is why he's here to say, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto me." And
Where
those
did
who
he
say,
say that
"Lord,
is the will of the
Lord,"
Father?
those who
Where
say,
did he say that?
those who
This
say,
is the
"Lord,
message.
Lord," and
This
do
is
not
the
do
message
that, are
that
hypocrites.
our
They
Father-
will
So at
will
least, look,
have everlasting
if you
life.
said will of the
We-
Father,
we have
show it to me,
exegeted-
that's all.
I show it to you. I show it to
We
you.
have
1 John
exegeted that
3:23, yeah?
verse.
What's that?
1 John 3:23, yeah?
1 John.
3:23.
What are you going to show me?
I'm showing you the will of the Father, right?
Okay, so now we go from Matthew to John.
It doesn't
You're gonna
matter
get
because
full
it's still the same
exegesis
Bible.
power
What is the
here.
Wow,
Can you go
do
to
you see that?
Can you go to
You're going to show in Matthew 25.
Hashim is exegesis.
Why are we
You'll
going-
hear it.
Yeah.
You know, instead of you
Why are
guys
you
jumping
going
all
to
over,
Matthew? Absorb
and
it,
his
absorb it,
commandments
Hashim. This is great.
that we believe in the name of his son Jesus Christ and love one another as just as he commanded us.
Where's the
right?
will of the Father?
That's
I'll
the will
tell
of the
you what the
Father.
will
How
is
do we
the
love
Father.
Where does it say will of the
That's what we
Father?
believe.
How do we love
Commandment.
Jesus?
We'll do our
By doing
commandments.
unto
Okay, so
others.
every commandment is the will of the
Right.
Father. Is that
Yes.
right? Is
Do
that
you not
right?
believe so?
No, I'm asking.
Do you not believe so?
I'm asking.
Do you not believe the commandments is the will of the Father? Does he not will for the
You got a
commandments?
problem listening to what I'm saying? Do you understand the difference between a question and a statement?
Go ahead. you
So
just
my
said-
question to you is,
Yeah, go on.
are you telling me that every
That's what
commandment,
he's good at that.
listen,
Go on, go on.
is every commandment the will of the Father?
Yes, it is.
So was it the will of the Father to kill unruly children?
Where
Kill
was
unruly
it?
children. What did it
Where
say
was
that?
that?
Matthew 17:3. Sorry, Matthew 15:3.
Tell us
Read it.
how's it
Read
go?
it. No, you
Read it.
Get your
You read
Bible
it.
out.
Well, you read all the other
Hashim, you're
verses.
meant to
Get your
believe in the
Bible out.
Injil. Show me
Open
your copy
Matthew
of the
15:3.
Injil. We'll get it
Let's
open.
see how these guys obey the
Why
will of the
haven't you
Father.
got a copy of the Bible on you,
Divert from a
Hashim?
point I made.
I have it.
No, why haven't you got
I
a
do,
copy
it's
of the
in my
Bible?
phone.
My original point was
It's on your
Jesus will
phone.
come
It's
and
already
judge the
open.
nations.
Why you
He
guys
doesn't want to
get-
hear those verses.
Hold on. Why you whinging about
No, go ahead, go
a
ahead,
verse
go
which is
ahead.
already open here?
Go ahead, then
Calm
find
down,
it,
guys.
innit?
Matthew-
Remember, every commandment is the will of the Father.
Matthew-
Let's see if they obey that.
Matthew-
Matthew chapter 15, verse 3 and 4.
No, it's okay.
Come on, Google it.
You're jumping.
You're gonna
All
buy-
you're doing is jumping to next
No,
topic. Why
you
they
guys are
doing
doing the
that? Why they
jumping.
do that?
I'm just
Come on,
telling you.
man.
Okay, read it for them.
From where?
From
Jumping
the
all
red
around the
letters.
place.
Okay.
These are the words of Jesus.
Why
according
do
to you.
ye also transgress
if you
the
bring it to the
commandment
Quran, you will
of
not like
God
it.
Listen,
by
listen.
your tradition? For God commands, saying, Honor thy father and mother, and he hath cursed father or mother, let him die the death.
Who has cursed? The one who
Yeah.
curses their mother. Why are you reading
What version
KJV?
is it you reading from?
This is the KJV. That's why it's old English. Doesn't matter. So basically, anyone who curses a mother or father, they should be put to death according to the command of God. Is that the will of the Father?
Jesus is
he
teaching a
didn't say put
message
to
and you're
death.
missing
Is that the
it.
will of the Father?
No, Jesus is using that initial statement as a message to then say you are not doing what he asked you.
Which is
the
what?
will
Which
of
is
the
what?
Father is to honor the father and the mother. So
Yeah.
he's using a classic Jewish way of leaving people in. It's a parable, effectively. And what he's saying is.
No, it's a command of God, not a parable.
It is a
command.
It's a command of God.
Let him
finish.
Nice try, Colin. Nice try.
Jesus.
Did you see that? He
Jesus
tried
is
to
teaching
say it's a
message
parable.
that you
A command of God is
can't-
never a parable. It's
Blind-
always
of God
direct.
for Muhammad to
Why
die by
is he
poison.
using
Okay, wait a
that?
minute.
Let
Don't
me
change
read
the topic. I know
Hang on,
like changing
read
the
the
topic.
rest, read the rest, read the rest.
Wait,
wait.
But
So
you
what happened
say,
to them?
Whoever shall say to his mother and father.
Yes.
Hang on, this is an awful translation. This is not the King James.
Did you see the reaction there?
It's King James.
Did you see the reaction there?
Where's the Korban in
What?
that?
Wait a minute. What did you read, Colin?
Get me your
Colin,
Bible
why did he
out,
get
Hashim.
upset?
I want your.
Why did he get
Because it
upset?
doesn't say Korban.
You know why he got upset?
Because it
Because he
doesn't say
realized
Korban.
that is a horrible translation. It's
Yeah,
not a horrible
because it doesn't use
translation.
the word
It is a
Korban.
horrible command.
Yeah.
What is a command?
No, it means
anyone
very
anyone
easy
who
for you to
curses a
miss
mother.
out.
Listen.
Yeah, don't shout,
anyone
don't shout. Calm
anyone
down,
who, yes,
Hashim,
I'm
calm
calm, don't worry.
We're not
Anyone
shouting.
anyone who curses
Don't use that
Yeah, I
language.
know.
Take it
anyone who curses a mother or father
blow.
shall be put to death. Do you agree with
Right,
that?
are you done?
Do you agree?
Are you done?
I'm done. Do you agree with that?
No, we believe we should honour the mother.
Do you agree with
and
that?
father.
You're
That's what
having
Jesus
that-
is trying to
you're
tell you.
talking-
No answer from this guy now.
Hashim,
The
no,
guy
no,
wanted
no,
to
you.
the guy wanted to
Honour
interrupt
your mother
all the
and
time.
father.
It's not even
Do
that.
you
should
honour
happen
your
to them?
mother and father?
What should happen
Do you
to them?
honour your
No,
mother
according
and
to the
father?
Bible,
Do you
what should
honour your
happen?
mother and father? That's what Jesus is trying to teach
Look,
you.
I don't
Hashim,
follow
but you
Jesus.
won't
I don't
listen
follow
to
the
him.
command
He doesn't-
of the Bible.
he'll never
I follow the
understand.
command of the
Jesus
Quran. Colin,
is
Colin.
using this verse
Yes.
to pass on a truth to his hearers,
Which is?
that you could say you could put your parents to death, but you should honour your mother and father. He's using it in the opposite way that you
No,
claim.
not put parents to death.
The punchline of
Put the
Jesus
children to death.
is that you should. Do you know what Korban is? When you make gifts to the temple, do you know anything
Korban
about
means
that? Do you know what they were doing? No, no. Do you know what they were doing? what they would do, lots of Pharisees.
Colin,
what
Colin,
they would
before
do,
you
they
go
would
into that-
dedicate-
Let him
no,
finish,
no,
let him
I'll
finish,
tell
'cause
you,
you
they would
ramble on all the
dedicate.
time. Let
They
him
would
finish.
You didn't have an
dedicate
answer, so
money.
you keep quiet now.
They would
Finish,
dedicate
mate.
Colin,
money.
because
I'm
my
gonna tell you
point
what
was about
it is.
why
Stop
Jesus
beating
is
around the
gonna
bush.
Hashim,
yeah.
Can you
I'll
please
tell
answer
you.
the simple
I'm gonna
question?
tell you what
Listen.
What
caused
happened?
that.
Let him finish.
I'm
Let him
trying to
finish.
tell
Let
you.
him
Colin,
finish.
Let me
Hashim.
tell you.
Colin, wait.
Hashim, let him
You're
finish.
going,
Let
as
me give
usual,
you
you're
an
going off
answer.
tangent.
Let him
No,
finish.
I'm
You're
gonna
going off
answer you.
tangent.
Let him
Hashim,
finish.
let me
Let him
answer.
No, no,
Let him
this is
finish.
nothing-
Let him finish. Let him
Colin,
finish. Let him
Colin,
finish.
Not Dawah.
this has got
Hashim, let him
nothing.
finish.
This
Let
has
me
got
finish.
nothing to do with the
Let
altar.
me finish.
It's got
Let
nothing
me
to do with the
finish.
altar.
Classic. This is classic
Colin,
interruption.
you don't
When you're going somewhere,
Colin,
they cut you off.
listen. What
Just
happens
shout.
to
You don't have
what
an
happens to
exegetical
the children?
model
working,
when you
man.
read
Come
my
on, man.
scriptures.
Colin,
You have
nothing to
no
do with the
exegetical
altar.
model.
So basically, both of them are now embarrassed
Are you done?
about the command of
Are you
Jesus
done?
Christ
Let me read
that
that.
anyone who curses the mother or father shall be put to death.
To be put to death. Yeah, her.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Look, he's mocking his own Bible. He's
It's not
mocking
my
his
own
own
book.
Bible. This guy's got
I'm
no
just looking at
respect.
the way you're doing.
No respect for the Bible at all.
Hashim.
Do you agree with that? These two are afraid to answer.
You will never understand Jesus'
Yes.
The
parables
commandment in
because
Hebrew,
your
Say.
heart is
like
locked
our
to
father
them.
Yeah.
give to my father,
Yeah.
Moses,
I'm
in
never
the
bringing
Mount
the
of
Syriac
Sinai,
version of the
is
Bible again.
Chabed
I'll
et
stick-
imcha ve'et avicha.
Yes, what
And
does it
that
mean?
is respect your mother and your father.
Yeah. And if you don't, what happens to them?
I don't know.
Ah, that means they don't want. What happens to them, Colin?
I'm trying to explain to you,
Colin,
but you won't
will you
listen.
tell me what happens to the
Jesus-
person
in
who
this
does
verse,
not,
I'll
who
tell you
curses?
exactly
Wait,
what-
wait.
Are you ready?
Anyone who curses the mother or father, what happens to them, Colin?
What is
happens to
happening
them?
is- I'll give you the background.
No,
to
no,
that
don't
whole
give me
verse.
about the altar.
I'll give-
This has got
I will
nothing to do with the
Hashim,
sacrifices
I
on
will
the
help
altar.
you
Stop shouting. You're making this thing
exegete
weird,
this
man.
verse.
Exegete which
Hashim,
verse?
The verses we're talking about.
Okay,
here.
can you please quote the verse first?
No. What
No,
used to
before-
happen in
Colin,
the Old
Colin,
Testament?
Colin, with all
lots
due
of the
respect-
Pharisees would actually make an offering to the temple of money, and by giving it to the temple, they wouldn't actually give it to the maintenance of their mother and father. And this is exactly the point Jesus
what
is
was the
trying to say.
command?
You have made it korban by giving it to the temple.
Colin.
You say no. He's calling calling
Colin,
the
can you
Pharisees
please
out as
answer the
hypocrites for saying
Can you
can
please
destroy your
answer
mother
the
and
question?
father.
Yeah.
I have.
Okay, so what is
Have.
the
Say
punishment
have.
according to the command of God? What is the punishment of someone who curses the mother or father?
You're making the statement.
no answer.
No, I will. Are
Can you
making
answer the question?
Are you making the statement that Jesus is saying you should kill your mother and father? Is that your claim?
No, I'm not saying kill the mother
Well,
or
that's
father.
it.
You
Then
see,
you are saying
you
that.
see, you're not listening.
You said that in the beginning. This
Have
is
you-
what he was
you
claiming.
got the Bible there, right?
You said he was claiming.
Colin, you got the Bible
Can
there.
I
does
just
it
say
say?
this?
Where
Now
does it
you
say?
can deny it or you can accept it. Whilst you said in the beginning
you
that
can't read the
Jesus
Bible.
was saying
But this one-
on that statement about killing your mother and father, and do you think this is?
I'm
a
not
good
talking
thing?
about killing mother
You
or father.
said that.
I
You
never
said
said
it.
that.
You
I
did.
said anyone who
my
curses
stronghold
a mother
is why Jesus
or
comes to
father,
judge Islam and
they
nations.
shall be put to
He's
death
run away from
according
that.
to
But
Matthew
but
7.
initially, Hashim, you
Sorry,
called
Matthew
me-
15,
Yes,
verse
but
3 and 4.
But initially,
Every
you were
nation
saying,
Jesus
but Jesus
comes to
tells
judge
people to kill their mother and father.
I
That
never
was your
said that. It's on
opening
camera.
statement.
He doesn't want
Okay,
that.
If
you
I
made-
said that,
you made-
That's why he's running away.
Okay, let's
You
see if
go
you said
home,
it.
you go home
I
and you
will.
watch the film.
Yeah.
Okay? And
Okay.
you will realize that I never said kill
And
the
I'll
mother or father.
instantly withdraw it. So what point are you
Okay,
making?
my point is this. Have you read the verse
What
in Matthew?
point are you making if you aren't saying
If you're
that?
asking me a question, allow me to answer.
Go on then, please.
Okay. Matthew chapter 15, verse 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Have you got the Bible on you? Can you please read it?
I'd rather when you say a verse for you to get
You know,
your
you
Bible
remove,
out.
you remove
please.
the Bible.
No,
the last time when we talk about Matthew 7,
pull up the verse,
verse
Hashim.
21,
Hashim,
22,
Hashim.
you had no problem.
The point
Could
was
you
this-
try
the
in
point of this
future, if
debate
you're going
was
to use
why
a
is
verse,
Jesus
to pull
coming
it
to
out?
judge
Actually, it
Islamic
was out.
Pull it
nations?
out.
The brother
That's the
brought it
point.
out,
That's the
but you
point.
didn't want to look
Don't
at
worry,
it.
use your battery.
That's
It
the
won't
point I was
cost
making
much,
for this
come
whole
on.
debate. You've ran off to a different topic completely altogether. Do you understand?
That's a lack
why
of
is
exegesis.
Jesus
This is
exactly
what-
why
It's not
is
a lack of
Jesus-
exegesis.
It is
The
a
point of the
complete
debate
absence
is why
of
is
any
Jesus coming to
exegetical
judge
model,
Islamic
and you know it,
nations?
Hashim.
Okay, so now
And
you
then
guys
why
are
is the
embarrassed
beast coming
about
to
the
mock
words that I
before
brought
you?
up from your own Bible.
Why is that?
In fact, this guy was mocking the
Why is the
Bible.
beast coming to mock
Seriously.
before your forehead?
Mocking the
Okay,
Bible.
don't change the
I'm not mocking the
topic.
Bible.
Don't you did.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Listen,
so why don't you
stop
answer the
running.
question?
Stop running, yeah?
Why do you expect
is
us to
Jesus-
give you answers and
why
you don't
is
give us any
Jesus-
answers?
Why is Jesus?
No, I'm not
the
don't
Bible
change the topic.
Hang on,
coming to
Hashim,
judge
don't change the
Islamic
topic.
Calm
nations?
down, Hashim.
Why?
Don't change the topic.
Why? Why don't you want to jump
down.
on this topic? Why?
Why are you
Because
afraid to answer my
you know
question?
why Jesus is coming to
Why are you
judge
afraid to
Islamic
answer my
nations.
question?
You know why, innit?
You can
know
try
why.
provoking as
You
much
know
as
why.
one.
It's not even provoking.
Jesus is actually a
Every
Muslim, for
nation
information.
Every nation Jesus come to.
Let's have some
He's a
love
Muslim. He's a
going
Muslim,
here.
yeah.
Your Dajjal
He
is a
does the
Muslim.
will of the Father.
Your Dajjal is a
Remember,
Muslim.
we Muslims do the will of
When the
Allah.
crucified Jesus
So
comes,
Jesus does the will of the
when
Father.
Jesus comes,
And he tells the Christians to do the
Jesus
will of the
comes,
Father.
when Jesus comes,
Never to
when
do
Jesus
the will of
comes,
the Son.
according to the
Remember?
Bible, every nation
Okay, so
will
Matthew,
every nation will
you
you asked me to bring. You asked me to open the Bible. Can you tell him to be quiet?
Go on.
Okay,
No, I'm
can
gonna
you
be
guys,
fair.
if you want to
I'm
listen,
confused at what point you're making,
He's just
Hashim.
rambling
There's
on, man. He
about
does this
4 or
ramble,
5
ramble,
leaps
ramble,
that you've
right,
done,
right.
and I'm not
I didn't
quite
do any
with
leaps.
you. You did.
If you're willing to listen to the Bible again,
is the will of
then
the
maybe
Son
you
anyway?
learn something.
Why don't you knit it
what is
together
the
and
will
make
of
the
Okay,
the
here
Son
it is.
pronouncement?
Jesus
Plain.
replied. Now this time listen, because Muhammad read it
I'm
and
all
he didn't
ears, I'm all ears.
listen.
Go on.
He kept saying kill the mother and father. It's nothing about killing mother
Say
and
it
father.
slowly. Say it slowly.
I'll say it slowly for
Let's all
your
everyone here
benefit.
concentrate.
Okay, so this is Matthew chapter 15 verse 3. Okay, Jesus replied, why do you break the command of God for the sake of your tradition? Now Jesus is speaking to whom?
Continue. Sorry.
Whom is he speaking to you? To the Pharisees, the Jews.
Yep, go on.
You know, because the Jews are telling his disciples,
The hypocrites.
just to give you a synopsis of what happened before this,
yeah.
they were rebuking Jesus' disciples. They're saying, how can these guys eat without washing their hands? Yes? And then Jesus, in return, responds to them as follows. Jesus replied, and why do you break the command of God for the sake of your tradition? For God said, who said? God.
I'm looking for the
Yeah,
last
for
one.
God
I'm
said,
looking forward to it.
honor your father and mother. And anyone who curses their father or mother is to be put to death.
Keep reading. then.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, so far, wait, so
The
far,
punchline is
have you
later on.
have you understood so
But
far?
read on.
Yes. Remember, this is the command of God, not a parable as they
No,
tried
this is a
to.
preamble to a punchline, which is the message.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Remember earlier.
Read on.
I will.
You can't.
I will.
Like telling a joke and ignoring the punchline.
Why you guys getting upset? Read your Bible. Calm down. Calm down. Earlier, this gentleman
Hashim
here
is
tried to
being
say it's a
carried on.
parable. It's not a parable.
Okay,
Jesus says this is the command of God. What is the command of God? We'll read it again. Yes, for God said, honor your father,
But these lot, they just...
and mother, and anyone who curses the father or mother is to be put to
putting
death.
extra emphasis
Okay,
by reading
now he
it
wants me to
3
read the
times.
next
Now
one.
read it
Doesn't
again.
matter.
Go on.
He doesn't like that.
Now let's get to the good bit.
But you say that if anyone declares that what might have been used to help their father or mother is devoted to God, and they
That's
are
what I
not.
was saying about the Korban and the devoting things to the temple.
Yeah, but there's no-
You didn't understand that. That's the problem.
But
You had
hold on,
no
hold on.
idea
Wait a
that
minute.
That was
Wait a
temple
minute.
devotion of money that was used so that they didn't have to have their
Colin,
responsibility
let
to
us
look
finish
after.
before you give exegesis.
All right, yeah, but don't.
Shall we?
Go
Okay.
slowly. Go
but
slowly.
remember, the most important thing is the command of God, which
No,
is
no, this is the
which
most
is what?
important. In any statement, Jesus says, get to the punchline, and then you'll know what he's trying
Oh,
to
so
tell you.
the command of
You
God
don't
is
need
not
to stop-
important?
No, you don't need to stop halfway.
I didn't.
You
I was
can't-
going on.
You can't build a premise.
I did not.
You
I
can't
said that
build
is
a premise
important.
on the
Read that verse about
preamble.
3-4
I did not
times.
stop.
Hashim
Colin,
is
what
building
you're
a
trying-
premise
you're
on
trying
a
to build
preamble.
shop.
Continue
That's
to
what you're
read.
trying to do.
okay,
Continue
so
to
for
read.
him, the command of God is not
Let me
important.
read it slowly. I'll read it for you. I'll read it slowly.
Okay, go on. Read it slowly so you
Right.
understand.
But
Jazak Allah Khair. Go
right,
on.
curses their father and mothers put to death. But you say that if anyone declares that what might have been used to help their father and mother is devoted to God, which is Korban.
Where does it say Korban?
In another version, Korban's a Jewish verse for exactly that.
It doesn't say Korban in this verse. Okay, go on. Nice try.
What are you extrapolating from that?
God, I extrapolate that is the command
you
of God.
extrapolate whatever you want, mate.
Well, it's the command of God. If
Hang
you don't
on.
want to listen to that, that's your problem.
Thus, they nullify the word of God for the sake of their tradition. He's pointing to a tradition. He's saying they nullify it. And
Who's
now
there?
he's going to tell you
Who's
this
there?
is what
Who's
Jesus
there?
is
No,
talking.
listen.
Let me
Colin, who's there?
This is classic.
Let me
Muslim.
finish.
No,
Am I allowed
before
to
you
finish
finish,
first? No, I'm not.
who is there?
I can do the
Who
same.
nullifies
I'll pull out
the
the
command?
Pharisees.
Thank you.
Very
So who?
Pharisees he's talking
Thank you. So
about.
don't support the Pharisees.
No,
Go on.
I don't. And,
Go on, go on.
He says, and this is the point.
Finish it.
You hypocrites.
Who's there?
That's the
Who's the
punchline. The
hypocrites?
Pharisees.
Thank you.
The Pharisees who were saying you should be put to death.
you. So how is
but
it
they
nullifying
weren't-
the command?
They were actually nullifying the command by giving the money to the temple. So
you.
they were actually guilty of being put to
What?
death. And for them, done job.
Colin,
Done job.
Colin, no.
The Pharisees were guilty of
I
it.
agree.
And in their
Jesus said it
tradition.
I agree.
So
What
are you
were they
puzzled with?
guilty of?
Hypocrisy.
And what were they supposed to do?
They were meant to look after their mother and father, but they were giving the money to the temple to avoid it, and that's why he's using their own traditions against them. And
this
Jesus
is
said it
this
in
is
a
a problem.
sublime and wonderful way.
This is wait. Colin. You had your say.
Yes.
Using that example.
Yeah,
to
let me
show
read the
them
end.
Wait.
Let me read the
No,
end.
you bring
Come
up your own
on.
Bible.
Oh, you're
What is
terrible, you
what?
are.
Look, the most important
Yeah,
thing was
very
already
ungenerous.
told by Jesus that for the sake of tradition, you're breaking the command of God.
And they were hypocrites.
Good.
And
So
the
shall we go back to now the bit that Colin doesn't want us
Means
to
the opposite
mention?
of what you were saying.
What was the command of God?
to honor your mother and father.
And what should happen if you don't?
Huh?
What should happen if you don't?
Look, if you give your
No,
money to the
answer.
temple,
Answer.
Jesus is talking about a specific situation.
Thank you. What did you
to a
say?
specific group of people.
Colin, can you say those words?
I know, but do you know why?
Can you say those words?
Can I just say?
You see how difficult it is for him
Jesus
to say
is-
those
no,
words?
no, Jesus is actually contradicting the traditions of the Pharisees who are hypocrites by actually revealing the truth that you shouldn't give money to the temple. You are the ones who should give it to your mother and father, and you are making. That's why he calls them hypocrites. Why do you think they were hypocrites?
What is it?
Hashim, why is he calling them hypocrites? You don't know.
No, I do.
Tell me.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Why are they
So
hypocrites?
because
Why are
Colin,
they hypocrites?
because
You're gonna tell us.
Colin is embarrassed to use the words put to death the
I'm
children.
not.
So
They-
say it.
no.
Say it.
Put to
In
death.
front-
Go
yeah.
on, yeah.
Who should be put to death? Who should be put?
I'll tell you, the Pharisees should be put to death for being hypocrites and not use that verse.
Did you see the double standards
no,
there?
no, you don't understand
Okay.
hyperbole.
Now
and
we
you don't
know.
understand
Look,
what
look.
you're saying.
Speaking of hypocrites, this is what Colin doesn't get.
You're being a
Because according to Jesus, look who is a hypocrite. And why do you break the command? Wait a minute,
Go
you
on,
heard me
go
say.
on. Barely,
And why
yeah.
do you break the
Oh, you
command?
gotta love him, though. I'm talking to him. Go on,
Stop
carry on.
interrupting when I'm reading your Bible. Have respect for your Bible.
Hurry up and take your time. Go on.
You told me to read it slowly last time. So I'm going to read it slowly. And why do you break the command of God for the sake of your tradition? What was the tradition? Was it to kill the unruly children? No, it wasn't. What is the command of God? To kill the unruly children. So because the Jewish people, the hypocrites,
What tradition are they talking about?
Hold on.
I thought
I
that's
haven't
what you were
finished yet.
answering.
I
What
haven't finished.
tradition?
No, this here, what is the command of God? For God said, honor your father and mother, and anyone who curses their father or mother. Do you want to finish the rest?
Tell me, Hashim.
You want to finish the
what
rest?
was their tradition? What was the
Colin,
tradition?
do you want to finish the rest?
Before you, yeah, go on. I'll read it. If it's in the Bible, I'll read it. Go on.
And anyone, read from there.
Anyone who curses their father or mother is put to death. Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I don't agree with it.
So he doesn't
I
agree with the
it's in
command of
Bible.
God.
Hang on, Hashim.
Jesus said that's the command of
hang
God.
Hang on,
Just read the
Hang on.
whole-
What
this
was
is
the
the problem we
tradition?
have.
What
The
was the
tradition,
tradition
I'll
you
tell you.
didn't know?
Okay.
You didn't understand about Corban in the temple.
No.
You didn't understand.
No.
Did you understand?
No,
that?
hold on.
Did you understand what Corban is?
Hold on. The command of God was
I'm afraid
the command of God
Hashim
was
has a black hole
to
in
honor
Jesus because he
to
didn't know what
honor
Jesus was speaking
your
about.
mother and your father. By the way, this
I know what
is
Jesus
from
is speaking
Exodus.
about.
What tradition
This
is he
command,
talking about,
this
Hashim?
command of God. You know, he's going to tradition.
What tradition is he talking about?
And he's ignoring
in
the
that
command
verse?
of God. Can
I'm
you
not
believe that?
ignoring it. Jesus is actually countermanding that
But you're
by trying
saying-
to reveal
you're
the
saying you
truth to
disagree with the command.
And you can't understand it.
You
because
said you
don't know
disagree
what-
with the command.
You don't know what point Jesus is trying to make. Do you know what point he's trying to make?
The point I'm making.
No, what is Jesus? The point
the
Jesus
point
is
I'm making-
What is the point Jesus is
Are you going to let
making?
me answer the way
Well,
I
I'm
want?
more interested in what Jesus is saying.
Okay, you go have your say, and then I'll say mine.
Go on.
Have your say.
No, I'm asking you.
No,
what
you have
point
your
is
say
Jesus
because
making?
you want to put
What
your words
point?
in my mouth.
No, I don't want to. I want to hear what you conclude the point Jesus
Okay,
is making.
let's
by
go.
that-
You know
by
what?
that
In order for you to understand this, let me
Yeah.
start from verse 1. In verse 1, this is how it starts. Then some Pharisees and teachers of the law came to Jesus from Jerusalem and asked, what did they ask Jesus? This is what they asked. And why do your disciples break the tradition of the elders? What was the
Yeah,
tradition?
the tradition is exactly what you're going to read next.
Yes.
Go on.
So why do you break the tradition of the elders?
Yeah.
They don't wash their hands before they eat. Do you believe that is a
Hang
tradition?
on, where are you reading now?
Verse 2, Matthew 15.
Okay, yeah,
1 and
he's
2.
talking about the whitewashed tombs and all the rest of it. Yeah.
No.
Hypocrites.
They don't wash their hands. That was the tradition.
Yeah, that's another one of the
tradition of the
traditions.
elders.
Yeah, that's another
Oh,
one of
another
the
one.
traditions.
Why Jesus is coming to judge
Look,
Muslim
yeah,
nation.
the Pharisees are full of traditions, as you know. But look, I've got to go and get my coach. I would love to carry on with this and yeah, enjoy the rest of your time here. At
By the way,
Coach's
I'm
Corner,
surprised you
Hashim.
said that you don't agree with the command of God to kill unruly children.
I believe in the New Testament.
That is the New
covenant.
Testament.
No, you won't find Christians doing that.
Why?
He's talking about the Old Testament because Jesus came to release us from the law, and you know.
So why is he preaching the Old Testament
Do you know
in the time of the New
No,
Testament?
he's using that as an example to show them up for their hypocrisy, as you can
Not
read as you carry on
everyone
down
who
there.
says to me,
God bless you.
Lord,
You take over,
Lord,
you understand
wait
it.
a minute.
I've got to get a coach.
Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, in that day, so Jesus is talking about that day which is in the future. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father in heaven. Many will say to me, we heal this in the name, we've done these miracles. And I will declare to them, wait a minute, I never knew you.
I don't think Colin wants to hear that.
No. We already did that when Muhammad was here.
So basically, who are these people
What I would try and
that Jesus is going to condemn as evildoers?
Try and understand what Jesus is telling you at the end of that verse as he builds using these as examples. But good luck with that. Take care.
That's fine. So Colin is saying he's talking about the Korban. I didn't see any Korban mentioned here. So if he wants to bring up evidence, then please show it to us from the Bible. And if you can't, then that is a different thing. So anyway, the important thing is that
to debate why Jesus has come to judge Islamic nations. Are you ready?
if you have the evidence,
Are you gonna jump for that?
if you have evidence,
Let's
okay.
go.
By the way, you know something?
I'll bring the Bible.
Listen,
I don't want to hear nothing. Let's go.
Oh, if you don't want to hear nothing, then I'll go.
Let's go. Oh, why?
I'll go because you said you don't want to hear nothing.
No, I don't want to hear. Let's get straight to the point.
Can I ask you?